Did you know that 200 angels once made a secret pact that changed humanity forever? In this video, you'll discover who the fallen angels were, why they descended to Earth, and the forbidden knowledge they gave to humans. We'll ask why ancient texts tried to hide these stories, how their punishment shaped later myths and religions, and one final theory that changes everything. Stay tuned. The last part is the most surprising. If mysteries like this fascinate you, like and subscribe. Let's dive in. To understand the fall, we must first try to comprehend what was lost. Before the rebellion, there was heaven. But what was it truly? Quick question. What do you think about fallen angels? Drop a comment below. It wasn't a place of clouds and golden gates, not in the simple way we imagine. It was a state of being, a dimension of pure light, sound, and divine energy, where thought and reality were one. The angels, the host of heaven, were beings of breathtaking beauty and power. They were the architects of stars, the painters of nebulae, the conductors of the cosmic symphony. Every single action was in perfect harmony with the will of the Creator. There was no pain, no sorrow, no doubt, only an eternity of light. It was an existence of absolute, unblemished bliss and purpose. In this realm of perfection, the angels served. Messengers, warriors, guardians, scholars. Each had a role, a purpose woven into the grand design of the universe. Think of the Archangel Michael, the great commander, his presence a beacon of strength and unwavering loyalty. Or Gabriel, the divine messenger, whose voice could carry across galaxies. The perfect harmony could not last. The seed of dissent, once planted, began to grow. At the center of this growing storm was a figure of unparalleled brilliance. In many traditions, he is called Lucifer, the light bringer, a morning star in the celestial court. He was among the most powerful and beautiful of all angels. His wisdom was vast, his influence far-reaching, and his power immense. But his brilliance fostered a dangerous pride, a shadow that grew within his light. He looked upon the Creator and saw not a being to serve, but a rival to be matched. Why, he wondered, should he bow? Why should his will be subservient to another, even the divine? This thought became a clarion call to others. The rebellion was not sudden. It was a campaign of whispers, a slow poisoning of minds. Lucifer moved through the celestial choirs, planting seeds of doubt and ambition. He spoke of freedom. He spoke of self-determination. He spoke of a universe where they could be their own masters. He appealed to their pride. He appealed to their power. He appealed to the idea that they were more than mere servants. He gathered to his side a third of the heavenly host, as the Book of Revelation suggests. An army of angels, once sworn to protect divine order, now prepared to shatter it. Heaven was no longer a place of song. It was a realm divided, on the brink of a war that would scar the cosmos forever. Then the whispers turned to war cries. The celestial peace was broken by the clang of ethereal swords and the roar of angelic warriors. This was not a war of flesh and blood. This was a war of light and of will. Defeated, the rebels could no longer remain in the realm of light. They had made themselves antithetical to its very nature. The divine verdict was passed. They were to be cast out. This was not merely a change of address. It was a fundamental transformation of their existence. The Bible's book of Isaiah describes it vividly. How you have fallen from heaven, O morning star, son of the dawn. You have been cast down to the earth. This fall was a cataclysmic event, a violent expulsion from a state of grace into a state of utter desolation. They tumbled from the highest plane of existence, their light extinguished as they fell, leaving trails of darkness like comets of despair. Their destination was a realm born from their own rebellion. If heaven was a dimension of pure light, this new domain was one of absolute darkness, chaos, pain. We call it hell. Who were these beings who chose darkness over light? They were not a monolithic horde of generic monsters. They were individuals, angels with names, ranks, and purposes, who made a conscious choice. Their leader, Lucifer, is the most famous, the embodiment of pride. But he was not alone. Ancient texts, like the apocryphal Book of Enoch, give us a roster of the fallen. It speaks of the Watchers, a group sent to observe humanity. Instead, they became consumed by lust for mortal women, abandoning their sacred duty. They descended to earth, took wives, and sired a race of giants known as the Nephilim, who filled the world with violence. The leaders of these Watchers are named. There was Azazel, who, according to Enoch, taught humanity the art of war, how to forge swords, make shields, and craft armor. He introduced vanity, teaching them to make jewelry and cosmetics. He was blamed for corrupting the earth to such an extent that it prompted the Great Flood. The story of the fallen angels did not remain confined to ancient religious texts. It exploded into human culture, becoming one of our most enduring and fascinating myths. It's a story that artists, poets, and writers have returned to again and again. In the Middle Ages, they were depicted as grotesque, monstrous beings. Gargoyles perched on cathedrals, reminders of the ever-present threat of evil. Their beauty was gone, replaced entirely by the horror of their sin. Then came the Renaissance and the Romantic era, which began to see the fallen in a new light. John Milton's epic poem, Paradise Lost, stands as a monumental turning point. Milton gave Lucifer, now Satan, a voice. He transformed him from a simple monster into a complex, tragic, and compellingly charismatic anti-hero. This complex portrayal has defined the fallen angel in modern storytelling. Each generation reinterprets the fall to reflect its own anxieties and values. In our modern scientific age, do we still believe in angels and demons? For many, these stories have been relegated to the realm of myth and metaphor. We search for aliens in the cosmos and for quantum explanations for reality. Yet the figure of the fallen angel persists not always as a literal being, but as a powerful symbol that helps us understand our world. The story of a perfect system corrupted from within resonates deeply. Political disillusionment, corporate greed, the subversion of ideals. Think of the development of the atomic bomb. J. Robert Oppenheimer, the father of the atomic bomb, famously quoted the Bhagavad Gita upon witnessing the first test. "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." The fallen angel archetype also thrives in our digital world, a heaven of information shadowed by a digital hell. Ultimately, the story of the fallen angels has become internalized. So, we return to where we began. Under a stormy sky, contemplating a war between light and shadow. The story of the fallen angels. Literal truth, historical myth, psychological allegory. It holds up a mirror to the complexities of humanity, and what we see reflected there is both terrifying and deeply familiar. It is the story of choice. Their story is our story, written on a cosmic scale. It is the story of having the freedom to choose, the terrible burden, the beautiful burden that freedom represents. Would we be happier in a perfect heaven without the ability to choose wrongly? Or is the freedom to fall what makes our eventual choice for good so meaningful? This ancient tale forces us to confront the origins of evil. Did evil begin with a divine adversary, or is evil simply a byproduct of free will? A necessary shadow cast by the light of consciousness. Their sins are profoundly, uncomfortably human. We see their pride, their envy, their rebellion in our own lives every single day. Perhaps their story isn't about them at all. Perhaps it's a cautionary tale, a grand cosmic metaphor to help us navigate our moral landscape. For the greatest mysteries may lie not in the heavens above, but deep within the uncharted territory of the human soul.